Hi, I'm Katie Roering.
And I'm Eric Roering.
And we're the founders of Fontana Candle Co. In 4 years, we took our hobby of making candles in our basement and selling them at craft shows and makers markets, and we turned Fontana into a nationally recognized e-commerce brand. This year, we're doing 7 figures of revenue, and we have 12 employees. So how did we do it?
Welcome to the Candle Couple podcast, where we will be sharing the nitty-gritty of scaling our e-commerce brand quickly. We are spilling the tea, so hopefully we can help you scale your brand quickly too.
This is episode 12, Scaling Customer Service. Oh, customer service. Unfortunately, I am in charge of customer service at our brand. I say unfortunately because customer service is such an important part of your business. For me, I'm an empath and I'm very sensitive. I don't like conflict. And I think the brand's my baby. I'm just too close to it that when a customer is upset, I get upset. Like, I feel it personally.
This is one of those items of your business that is hard for the owner to do.
Yes.
Because every bad review or complaint feels like a personal slap in the face.
Yes. This is something that if you're sensitive like I am, if you're an empath, I would try to hand off to someone else as quickly as possible because it can affect your mental health.
And like you said, it's extremely important to be done well.
Yes. And it's something that I know can be outsourced. Like, I've heard a lot of brands outsourcing their customer service. That's something we haven't done. We always have it in-house. I don't really understand how outsourcing it works. I've never seen the back end. I've never seen the training that you do, but I just feel more comfortable having that in-house.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It has still a little bit of a personal touch, and it's our interaction with our customer directly. Because we're not going to shows anymore, it's important for us to receive that feedback. No matter how painful it is to receive, it's still important that we receive it and review it.
After doing customer service for 5 years now, customers' expectations of most small businesses are completely unreasonable. I mean, in most cases, they're absolutely unreasonable, and they're used to Amazon and the big brands and Target. It's hard to be a small business and make customers happy and live up to expectations.
One of the important things to call out right away is if you are starting, set your return policies, your customer service policies early because you've changed ours as we have grown, which is right. But what are some of the things that you wish we would have started with today?
Well, I would say be very consistent and very clear on your policies. Make sure you have them spelled out. Make sure they're visible on your selling platform. Customers should be able to read your policies before they check out.
They need to know the terms before.
When customers push back on us for not accepting refunds, it's like, no. In the checkout, you checked the little checkbox that you read our terms and conditions in our policies.
Right.
There's no question about our policies. They're all there in clear sight.
And you still get questions and push back on them.
The average customer doesn't read everything, but just knowing that it's there and in clear sight, it helps you as the business owner enforce your policies.
So what are some of those steadfast policies that you've built now after 5 years of doing customer service?
There's several different aspects of customer service policies. You need to make sure you avoid inconsistency in your customer support from customer to customer, and don't be vague. Be friendly or respond quickly. That's not really an actionable item. Make sure you have clear
and that's what you would tell like your new customer service person.
Reps, yes.
Right. You can't give them the direction of just respond quickly.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Right. Exactly. Some of the policies that we have in place would be answering questions like, do you allow customers to edit their order after it's been placed? That's a customer service ticket that comes up all the time. Well, I ordered fresh mint and lime, but I really wanted geranium. Can you switch that?
This is an important aspect of your policy because as we've gotten shipping down faster, if we allow them to edit their order, it will impact our shipping team. And they could have already picked the order. They could have already packed the order. And then if we allow them to change it, now we have to undo all of that work.
So you have to make basically a window of time for allowing any edits or cancellations and make sure that order has not been picked and packed in that window of time.
Because that's a double-edged sword of people want their order placed and then they want it shipped right away.
They want it and they want it now until they want to change.
Unless they need to change.
Yeah, exactly.
Then it's, well, that was too fast.
Yes, it's that Amazon, I want it and I want it now. So we ship as soon as orders come in, but then they get upset when they can't edit it. And a lot of times it's, oh, can I add something to my order? So these items, although they seem, small and like it shouldn't take that much time, when you're scaling a business and you have hundreds of people asking to edit their orders, that's a lot of admin time.
It's a lot of admin time.
That is a lot. And it's also because we now have an agent going in and editing orders and issuing invoices for additional products. There's room for error now.
Anytime you manually intervene, it's rife with errors.
So that's something we personally do not allow customers to edit their order after it's been placed. If it has not been into the queue for picking, we will cancel it and allow them to reorder. There's too many mistakes happening and too much admin time. I mean, just to keep track of edits and changes is very, very difficult unless you have the proper software.
And that's something that we've really been working on. We've offered different tiers of shipping, but our previous software was so easily overwritten by our shippers, which we gave them direction.
We trained them to do that.
Right.
Well, you have to be careful with that because customers are saying, I paid for 2-day shipping. And no. You didn't pay for 2-day shipping. First of all, nobody can afford 2-day shipping. It would be like $45. So you wouldn't have bought 2-day shipping. That was an estimated transit time that the carrier gave for the packet in transit. People don't understand what they're purchasing.
Yeah, there's still a lot of education to be had on the consumer as far as what do each of these terms really mean. Because a 2-day transit time still doesn't mean that...
That's not a guarantee.
It's not
There's
a guarantee.
No guarantee there.
And yes, we try to get packages out the same day, but if there's 200 orders that came in, it's not going to be the same day. And therefore, there's processing time on top of it. So that doesn't mean that you're getting your item in 2 days from the date of purchase. And there's still a lot of learning that needs to be had on the consumer.
We get yelled at a lot for that one. And it's very unreasonable. It's just not understanding how shipping carriers work.
One of the things that we've played with off and on over the years is not necessarily related to customer service, but it's allowing your shipping geographies to come into play. Before we were playing with APOs, we had one that went to Japan, and it was a mess.
Well, it was a massive order.
It was a huge order.
It was a $300 order, and it just came back like annihilated.
Because it went literally around the world and back. And so understanding where you want to ship to and where you're able to ship to early on is going to prevent a lot of headaches. Because that $300 order was very early on, and that hurt.
And understanding these different shipping regions, because when we started, had no idea what an APO was.
Nope.
I had no idea what that meant. I had no idea that meant one of our packages could end up in Japan. Like, I did not understand that at all.
And so now we can limit those. While we can't know where an APO is by the nature of an APO, we can turn off regions of it so that it's not going to Japan anymore.
For those that don't understand APO, it's a military base, correct?
Right.
So that could really be anywhere in the world.
It could literally be anywhere in the world.
So we turned that off because we can't afford to eat damaged $300 orders that come back to us.
If we knew where they were going, we could probably pack it better.
Yes.
But we don't know that. And we can't overpack everything and charge $50 in packaging fees for something that might be going to...
Well, and in the summer, we can't guarantee that it's not going to melt in transit halfway across the world.
Yeah, pay attention to where you are actually shipping your orders to. This next policy is something that I struggle with
We've been struggling with this one for a while.
Yes. Part of me says absolutely 100% from a finance standpoint is the right thing to do. And the other part of it is, but our customers.
Returns and exchanges. Online shopping to me lately seems to be try it before you buy it. And consumers don't want to take any risk that they might not like the product. That seems to be the sentiment right now, especially with Amazon and the large companies. You can exchange and return anything. And as a small business, that hurts.
Well, it hurts not only because the product is probably coming back unsellable, but to have reverse logistics in place to receive the package back, bring it back into inventory, quality control it, put it onto quality hold to validate that it's okay, get it back into the system if it is okay, or completely write it off again. It's a whole nother business in reverse.
You need a team just for returns and exchanges.
You do, and it is very costly.
2 of our employees in our fulfillment and shipping department, they worked at QVC in returns.
In the returns department.
That was their job. And the horror story stories they have of
used
things
underwear
that have been
and
returned.
undergarments and
like biohazard materials that you
Right.
couldn't touch.
Right.
Like candles burned all the way to the bottom, and then the customer said, well, I didn't like it.
Yep.
Yeah, but you burned it all the way down.
Right. So this one to me is super hard because
It'll put a small business under.
It will. It really will. And it's super hard to tell the customer, no, I'm sorry, you don't like it. It's a final sale. But we have to do it because otherwise we're going to be doubling the price of our candles to cover these charges.
And they don't understand that either.
And they don't understand that. Or we have to say no. And that's going to be one of your challenges as a smaller business where you don't have the ability to do the reverse logistics. And you can't afford to lose the sales in the inventory for a return. And that's where it's just, you have to stand your ground.
And that's one, as we keep growing, is the expectation that we are going to be more and more lenient on that policy. That's where I struggle.
That's a huge struggle of mine. Yep. And I don't know the answer.
Because we do, for lack of better terms, piss people off.
Yes.
That don't like the product, and they chew us out for not accepting returns.
And I can understand because your sense of smell is so personal and you don't know if you like our smells or not. And so you're going to try it and you're not going to like it. And then we're going to tell you sorry. That really is hard on me because I fully understand the customer sentiment.
See, I come from remembering economics class. There's no free lunch.
Yes.
So understanding you consumed it, you therefore take the risk when you're consuming something that you might not like it. You go out to a restaurant. Do you like every meal that you get at a restaurant? But you consumed it. So therefore, somebody has to pay for it.
Well, we can't tell USPS or UPS that, oh, they didn't like it. So your services of delivery, now I need to be refunded. I can't tell our two shippers that, oh, sorry, they didn't like it. So your services of packing it have to be undone. And I have to tell our pourers that, oh, your services weren't liked. So you have to unpour it. And I'm not paying all of you for your services.
Our vendors, are you going to tell the beeswax supplier, oh, sorry, that candle wasn't like nobody ever gives Fontana a break, but we're expected to give every customer a break. Like, it's not fair to the small business.
No, it's not. And it can put businesses under.
Well, and I think the period that's really scary is January, when all the holiday returns come flooding back, because January typically is a slow sales time. So then could you imagine having to refund the mass influx of returns? Like, you're going to kill yourself in January and February.
Well, and that's where, okay, so what is our return policy?
So we do not allow returns. All sales are final. But we do allow exchanges of unburned and unused products.
Right.
And they have to initiate that exchange. It used to be within a 7-day period. We did get quite a few complaints that wasn't a large enough window for busy families. So we now changed that to a 14-day window to initiate your exchange.
And they pay for the return shipping.
They do. And that's another thing you have to think about. Like, are you going to initiate a return label for them and eat the label costs, which we can't afford to do. So we just give them the address and say, ship it back and send us the tracking.
And then you give them either a gift card to the store or
a product of the same size.
Right. Yeah. So we try to honor people's preferences, but we can't allow you to burn it and try it halfway through and then say, oh, I don't like it here, have it back.
Well, sustainability is so important in protecting resources. And it's like people wouldn't even think twice about burning the candle and then shipping it back. And I tell them we would throw it away anyway.
Right.
Like, what a waste of resources. Like, why would we even do that? Packages that are marked delivered but not received. This is another sticky situation.
This has been a challenging one that remains challenging, but has gotten better with an option, right?
Yes. Because again, consumers don't understand that once the shipping carrier marks their package as delivered, like, our liability to them ends. We're done. Like, we did it.
Our contract has been fulfilled.
Yes. Your package says delivered. So how can we verify that you didn't get it and that you're not making a fraudulent claim and you're enjoying your candles as you speak and you just want free product? Like, we can't verify that. Oh, yes, it has
happened.
As you get bigger, I hate to say this, as you get bigger, the amount of fraudulent claims you see grows.
In every form.
There are fraudulent people out there that you must watch out for.
Be very aware of scammers regardless of your product.
Yes. And make sure you can back up misships. A customer says, oh, I'm missing a product. We can go into our shipping software, look at the weights of what was sent out and the scans to see if their product was actually scanned into the order, because a lot of people make up
that they've missed candles.
Are missing products. So watch out for that one. Back up whatever you can.
How have we mitigated that aspect of, oh, it says delivered, but I didn't actually get my product.
In our customer service, we have a macro or a script written out for this instance that really helps to educate the customer that a lot of times the best thing to do is just wait a day or two, because a lot of times the package shows up the next day. So this is just something that happens. And sometimes it's like, customer, just wait it out.
So aside from waiting it out, we've been able to offer a new product.
Yes, because when we didn't honor these claims, people will get really mad at us. And so what the consumer can do in that instance then is go to their credit card company and issue a chargeback. But then that hurts us as a small business even more, because we end up refunding the customer
and paying a fee.
And paying a $15 chargeback fee. So we now use Route Package Protection, and it's basically an app that plugs into the back end of our Shopify. The customer can add Route to their cart at checkout, and it basically is an insurance policy on that package. Because you think, oh, well, most carriers offer insurance on their packages. Have you tried making a claim with UPS?
And that still doesn't protect you after it's been delivered.
Right, exactly.
Their insurance ends when it's marked delivered.
But even UPS say they say, okay, yeah, we lost it, we're sorry. It can take months to get that check.
We just got one from December.
Yeah, like it's months.
And it's March.
Route, they're awesome. I mean, they're awesome.
They are.
They have a portal that the customer goes in, makes a claim. I didn't receive this package. It was, maybe stolen or lost. And then Route goes in. I don't know how they do it, but they verify the claim and they put a reship or a refund into the customer. When the Route process goes smoothly and correctly, we don't even know there was a problem.
Nope.
Which is amazing because, again, admin time. Hiring your customer service rep to sit and fill out UPS claims
is terrible. It's been super easy. And if you are looking for something like this for your business, put Route on.
And I think we did talk in depth about Route in our episode about the software that we use.
Yep, we did.
So I would suggest listening to that episode.
Yep.
Do your items that you sell have any shipping restrictions? And I think a lot of people don't know about this. Matches cannot go expedited services. Matches can only go ground. So that means matches for us go UPS ground. They cannot go USPS priority mail.
We actually stopped shipping matches because of this as an issue.
Yep. Same thing with essential oils. They can be deemed a hazardous material because of their flammability. They are not supposed to go USPS priority mail, which we see people doing all the time. So it's like knowing these shipping restrictions. Is your software, is your website in the back end working correctly?
Understanding regulations of shipping is very important.
And is it, again, spelled out in your policies so your customer understands why they can't expedite essential oils or matches?
When we first found this out, I think it was when we were shipping some matches to Hawaii and we had to cancel the order.
Yeah, they couldn't get there.
And they were not happy.
Legally, we could not get matches to Hawaii. So that is definitely something to think about. And then another issue that comes up, orders that are undeliverable and are returned to sender. There's always something with shipping.
It still blows my mind how that still happens, because as you start typing, like, it autofills for you.
I mean, we don't get as many as we used to.
No, I know.
We used to get a lot more than we do now. What do you do in that instance? So you could issue a refund to the customer once the items are back in your possession, but then do you return to them the shipping fees? What is your policy? Or do you try to resend it? So a lot of times we do reach out to the customer. We say, hey, we got your package back. Could you please confirm that your address is correct? Do you want a refund or do you want us to resend it?
And a lot of times what happens is their memory in their computer overwrites or sends it to a wrong address, or some history in their browser overwrote their address.
Over the holidays, it was gifts going out and people are like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that the person I was sending it to moved. And then the one person was like, please go ahead and forward it to the new address. No, we got to get it back first. And is our company supposed to eat the mistake and the double shipping costs on your mistake? How do you draw the line between friendly customer service and why are we eating your mistake as a company? Come on.
It makes it very difficult.
People are so unfair to the small business. And then, having all these policies, having them present on your website, but then where do you want your customers to contact you for customer service? That's a very important aspect. I would highly recommend having it go to one place and not multiple places. So for example, direct messages via social media, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, DMs, TikTok. There's so many places a customer can message you with problems. It gets overwhelming.
Well, and it's hard to track and maintain that each one was answered.
Yes. So we have official customer service through an email, and we tell all customers who do DM us and message us that they must go ahead and send an email to our customer service team. And then we have Gorgias, the customer service software that goes ahead and really organizes our tickets and helps with our macros. And we did really go into detail on this in the episode about our software.
That software is not terribly expensive, right? But even if you aren't in that realm yet, make life easier on yourself and consolidate the communication channel.
Gorgias isn't that expensive, but it pays for itself because you waste a lot of time if you think about it. When your customer emails you, they never include their order number. You then spend time, again, admin time, researching, looking up the customer, whereas Gorgias automatically pulls up every order they've ever made when they email in. Like, you have all the information at your fingertips in one screen. It's worth it. It's also important that as you grow, you're streamlining your customer service. What are your hours of customer service? When can customers expect to receive a response from you? So for us, we always tell customers you'll receive a response Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. During the holidays, of course, we're in there on Saturdays and Sundays as people are holiday shopping. But then, how long should customers expect to wait before you answer? Is it 24 to 48 hours? I would say 72 hours is probably too long. So I would say really establish guidelines for your customer service team or yourself if it's just you. So just to give you an idea, we are a $1 million brand. We have 12 employees now. In the last 90 days in our Gorgias, we have received 3,800 customer service tickets.
And lately, I would say in the last 90 days, we are averaging 75 to 150 orders a day?
Yes.
To give you an idea.
Yep. And on average, it took our customer service team, which I guess I would call myself the manager of that team. And then we have Trinity, who is our customer service rep. So it's the two of us. It took us on average 16 hours to respond to a ticket. I think a lot of that is driven by the weekends because Trinity works Monday through Friday. And then it took us 16 hours to first respond. And then it took us 23 hours on average to completely resolve and close out the ticket. And 32% of the tickets were one-touch tickets.
And a ticket doesn't mean that necessarily it's a complaint,
no,
right?
it's an interaction with a customer.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't have 3,800 complaints.
An interaction with the customer that needs to have a response or a comment or a reaction to.
Even I love this candle. We always respond back, thank you so much. We're so happy you love our candles. We appreciate your support. Every interaction we answer.
It's not just important to respond to complaints.
It's all of it.
It's responding to positive and creating customer engagement.
You're creating your community.
Exactly.
Yep. You create your community through interaction. Yep. And you make sure, too, your interaction is always in your brand voice. As you scale and grow your brand, you do not want any interaction to be off-brand. So that is important to train your customer service people well.
Keep it consistent.
Yes. Subscribe and follow along for more e-commerce success tips so you can build a 7-figure e-commerce brand too.